You know that big, noisy box sitting outside your house? It's doing a lot more than just making a racket. It's actually your home's unsung hero, and it's fighting a secret battle every single day just to keep you comfortable. In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on this machine and finally understand that fight. Okay, just picture this for a second. It is the hottest day of the summer. We're talking 95 degrees, humid, just absolutely brutal outside. You're inside enjoying that sweet, cool air, and then you hear it. The single worst sound imaginable. And it's not a loud bang or some kind of awful screech. It's something way, way worse. That's right. It's silence. That sudden, deafening quiet when the familiar hum of your air conditioner just stops. That silence means your home's #1 protector is down for the count. So today, we're going to find out exactly why that happens and what in the world you can do about it. All right, section 1. To really get why these systems fail, you kind of have to change the way you see them. It's not just another appliance that breaks. It's more like a soldier, engaged in this constant hidden war, right there in your own yard. This quote right here really hits the nail on the head. Your HVAC system isn't just looking at the number on your thermostat. Oh, no. It is in a daily brawl with humidity, with the ground literally shifting beneath it, with rust and corrosion, and just with the stress of time itself. So who are these enemies? Who are the main adversaries in this battle? Well, it really boils down to two things: the climate where you live and the sheer age of your system. To make this crystal clear, we're going to use a real-world example from Overland, Missouri to show you the kind of brutal conditions so many of these systems have to put up with. Look at this comparison. On the left, you've got an HVAC system basically on vacation in a mild, dry climate. But on the right, that's the harsh reality for a lot of us. In a humid place, the AC is working overtime just to rip moisture out of the air. Then in the winter, the ground freezes and thaws over and over, which actually shifts the ground and puts stress on all the ductwork. And all that dampness in the soil? It's just a playground for rust. So here they are, the 4 horsemen of the HVAC apocalypse. You've got high humidity, which makes your AC feel like it's running a marathon in a sauna. You've got freeze-thaw cycles, which are literally bending and twisting its connections. Then there's that clay-heavy soil, which holds onto moisture and just eats away at the metal components. And finally, you've got old, leaky ductwork, which is like trying to carry water in a pasta strainer. You're just paying to air condition your attic. Now, here's the good news. Your system usually doesn't just die without any warning. It sends out distress calls, little SOS signals. And if you learn how to listen for them, you can spot the trouble before it becomes a full-blown catastrophe. So let's put on our detective hats and decode some of the most common ones. First on the list is the refrigerant leak. Okay, think of refrigerant as the magic juice, the lifeblood of your AC. Here's the key thing you have to remember. It does not get used up like gasoline in a car. So if a technician tells you it needs a recharge or a top-off every single year, that's a huge red flag. It means you've got a leak and you're just bleeding out expensive coolant. That's a symptom, not a solution. Okay, everyone, listen closely to this one because it is critical. A cracked heat exchanger. This is a very serious safety hazard. See, the heat exchanger in your furnace is the only metal wall between the fire and the air that gets blown into your house. If that wall cracks, it can leak deadly, odorless carbon monoxide right into your home. This is exactly why furnace checkups aren't just about performance. They're about keeping your family safe. Have you ever had your system just hum, but not actually kick on? Well, the culprit is often a simple, failed capacitor. It's a small part, looks kind of like a battery, and its only job is to give the motor a big jolt of electricity to get it started. Extreme heat just wears them out. The crazy thing is, it can feel like your entire system is dead, when really, it's often a pretty simple and relatively inexpensive fix. Okay, so the worst has happened. Your system is down, a technician has figured out the problem, and now you are facing that one big, expensive question every single homeowner dreads. Do you repair it, or is it time to replace the whole thing? This can feel like such a high-stakes gamble, right? You don't want to throw good money after bad, just constantly patching up an ancient system, but you also don't want to drop thousands of dollars on a new one if a simple repair could have bought you a few more years. So how do you make a logical financial decision instead of an emotional one? Well, to take a lot of the guesswork out of it, there's a handy little guideline called the $5,000 rule. It's really just simple math. Let's look at how this plays out. Say you have a 12-year-old system. A $300 repair? Well, 12 times 300 is $3,600. That's under the $5,000 threshold, so repairing it makes sense. But what if that same 12-year-old system needs a $500 fix? Suddenly you're at $6,000.
The rule suggests it's time to start thinking about replacement. For a 15-year-old unit, even a pretty modest $350 repair bill pushes you over the edge. It just helps you see that tipping point.
Now that we've talked about what goes wrong and how to make that big decision, let's totally switch gears. Let's talk about how you can become an informed ally for your HVAC system. Think of this as your personal field guide to being a smart homeowner. When you have to call for help, there are 3 things that are totally non-negotiable. First, the technician should find the real reason something failed, not just patch up the symptom. Second, you get a clear price in writing before they start any work. No surprises. And third, after the fix is done, they should test the whole system to make sure everything is working together just right. That is the baseline for professional service. Okay, first step is something super simple anyone can do. It's the 2-foot rule. That big unit outside needs to breathe. It pulls in massive amounts of air to get rid of heat. If you have bushes growing all over it or junk piled up next to it, it's basically like forcing it to breathe through a straw. It has to work so much harder, which drives up your bills and makes it fail sooner. Just give it at least 2 feet of clear space all the way around. Next is the 3-minute rule. This one is vital. When an air conditioner shuts off, the pressure of the refrigerant inside is extremely high. It needs a few minutes for that pressure to equalize. If you try to restart it too soon, you force the compressor, the heart of the system, to start against that intense pressure. It can cause serious damage. Most thermostats have a delay built in, but if you're ever flipping breakers, just remember to wait at least 3 minutes.
And so we've come full circle. That machine isn't just an appliance, it is your home's frontline defender. It's fighting humidity, wild temperature swings, and its own age every single day. The real question is, after everything we've talked about today, are you equipped to be its ally in that fight? Are you ready to give it the support it needs to keep on fighting and winning for you?